Hello friends, I'm Chi. Hope you guys are doing well today. Williams Uchemba, you guys know him, an actor, right? He has something to tell you guys. Let me tell you, Nigeria cannot work until we start doing the right thing. But will they do it? Let me tell you guys, most of the politicians you see are behind all the evil you see happening in that country. And you see, even the policemen, some of them are the enablers. Well, it's all right. For you to start cleaning, you have to clean from the top. All right, guys, so you guys have to watch this video till the very end, okay? Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I am Chi. Remember, as always, I will tell you my own last thought after you finish watching the video. And you, I expect to tell me your thoughts in the comment section, okay? Thank you very much. So let's watch what he has to say to us Nigerians.
Honestly, one of the things I said to myself was I was going to reduce the amount of complaint and the decadence I see in this country and focus on the positive part, doing the little I can, helping people and, doing all that. But I think there's a level it gets to where you can no longer keep quiet. And for this particular topic that I'm about to address, it has been disturbing me so much that I can't sleep. I wake up, it's in my mind. I just got off the shower. It was just there in the shower with me. And if I don't get this out, the way it always lays in my spirit, I feel I'm committing a capital sin. When a child begins to steal meat from the mother's spot, and the mother catching the child does very little in terms of punishment, or showing the child this is the consequences of this, what the mother is doing is that the mother is breeding a hardened criminal that will eventually grow up and even destroy her own life, or become a national disgrace to the family. We have a constitution that governs this country. And I don't see why when it is time to execute that constitution, we are not as vocal as we should be. The Bible says, who builds a house without first counting the cost? This might come from a positive light, but also who commits a crime? Anybody that you see commit a crime has already in his heart made up his mind, if this thing casts, this will be my fate. So I do not see why the capital punishment for kidnapping is death. And some of these kidnappers are caught. And yes, they are caught. Some of them get caught. I will give credit to the Nigerian police, at least to that point. I have information that some of them get caught. We don't hear anything. Whether they are being imprisoned or whether they are being executed, we don't hear anything. I think that the same way this thing makes round social media, when caught, should make round social media. And if you ask me, there should be a dedicated channel, just like Big Brother Nigeria, that is dedicated to catching some of these people that do these things and are shown public execution. They are publicly executed. Children can go to bed. It's past their bedtime. It's not for children. Put parental control on it. Because until we start executing consequences to certain actions, we cannot see the results. We want to copy China. We want to be like China, but we don't have the balls that China has. The punishment for kidnapping in China is death. The punishment for corruption in China is death. Oh, you think they don't have animalistic behavior? People that behave anyhow. You think they don't have it? It is the consequences of every action that puts a society in check. So the kidnap rate has gone high. The reason is not because the police is not doing much. It's because the ones that are seeing what is going on and how these kidnappers are buying things on themselves and living life feels it's a lucrative business, because that's one that entered inside prison. He's out in a couple of months. So I can go into it. If they can show their colleagues being executed on TV, watch how that thing will drop. This has nothing to do with church. There's a place for morality. There's a place for people to change and give their life to Christ. This is not part of those places, because our job should be to uphold the constitution of this. Even in the midst of the 12 disciples, there was a criminal, and the law caught up with him. I am begging, if it is possible, And this has nothing to do with human rights. Stay clear, human rights. Anytime you kidnap somebody, do you know that you have actually bite the person? You've killed the person, even though the person is still alive. That is why it's not the same penalty now. It's not the same weight that stealing carries with kidnapping. Because stealing, you can take something that belongs to somebody. In the person's absence, no life was hurt. No life was threatened. You can do 5 years. There is a punishment for that. But when it's armed robbery or kidnapping, it's heavier. Because when human lives are involved, I have not seen one person that was kidnapped and recovered and came back and became the same. Go and ask. The trauma stays with them to their last breath. So how come we are seeing these things? Okay, look at the picture of this girl has been in my head for days. The little girl, the young girl that kidnapped, she's in prison. You can sense fear. I watched that video and I weep. Because that could be anybody. That could be my sister. That could be my child. And it's even a girl that does not have anything. The parents does not have any money. Look at the fear on that girl's face. If by the grace of God that girl is released, you think that girl will be the same? She's traumatized for life. And these people that are caught should not be let go scot-free. Not in the law should uphold when it comes to this issue called kidnapping. And let us watch how this thing will drop drastically. What are we doing? It's not my words, it's the Constitution. The penalty for kidnapping in this country, the Constitution says that is execution. Why have we not seen it on TV? Why have we not even heard or seen it on the blog? The same thing camera does. If a criminal enters a place and sees that there is camera, he holds it because he knows that that camera is checkmating. That is what the law does. That is what Constitution does. That is why China is the way it is. I was in China the other day for a business trip. My interpreter left my bag that had my passport in the lobby. I was panicking. I was like, oh, my everything was there. The Chinese, they were looking at me weird. Even the interpreter was a Nigerian that lives there. They were looking at me like, what is wrong with you? I said, you left. They could have stolen it. They said they don't steal in China. They were looking at me. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't know human beings. They said, yes. All of them, which I had money, and I said yes, but they don't steal in China. The person went, collected my bag and gave it to me. Everything was intact. Because the penalty for that is either 20 years in prison or life imprisonment. Begin to implement the consequences of certain actions that some people behave in this country, and you see how the place will change. This is not about social media. Until we begin to uphold these constitutions, we will not see the change. There's nobody safe. And it's like this is affecting almost the poor people. Have you noticed that most people that are being kidnapped on the heavier capacity are people that don't even have the money? Until this is addressed, is all talk. It's content. We are not serious. If we must begin to see change, we have to start taking our lives seriously. We have to start taking the Constitution seriously. We have to start taking the things that it says. Even the Bible itself has its own laws. But until then, we are joking.
All right, guys, welcome back. Definitely, everything he said there made a lot of sense. But what can the police really do? Their job is to, catch the people committing these crimes. Take them to court. The next thing, you see, they get bailed or pardoned, Some of them just get a lesser sentence. Before you know it, they're out. One president or governor will just come in and set them free. Say their sins have been forgiven, forgetting the trauma they have caused a lot of people. Ah, my Lord. The money, how they have wrecked many families, made them to go sell houses, sell properties just to give to them, just to get their person out. Sometimes they even buy their victims. You see? Just of recent, you guys have seen how Presido, pardoned a lot of them. Both those doing drugs, kidnapping, armed robbers, name different kind of criminals were set free of recent. How would the country get better like this? We want the country to be like China, to be like abroad, to be like America, but yet, these things keep happening. It's either the governors will be like, if I sign their death sentence now, their execution, because after the judge finish, they will carry the whole document, give Mr. Governor, so that he should sign, so that the execution will be carried out. Most governors don't want to sign it. Most governors don't want to sign it. You see? So imagine if most governors start signing it. And if the governors are scared, why can't they change the law and then say, okay, the judge, you that will pass the judgment should be the one to equally sign the execution? Because most governors are like too religious. They're like, oh no, I'm a Christian, oh, no, I'm a Muslim, I go. Most of these people might be innocent, they just frame them up, which yes, is true. Sometimes they frame some people up. No thanks to those bad police officers that just frame some people up just to get promotions. So that's why most of these governors are like, how am I sure that these 200 people in this list for execution are really, truly they committed this crime? I might just like have an innocent blood on my hand. I might sign the execution, and maybe out of these 200 lists brought for execution for him to sign, maybe about 20 or 50 are innocent. You and I know that these things happen in Nigeria where they just accuse innocent people of being an armed robber, being a collaborator to kidnappers or armed robbers, you know, financier or enablers. They just frame them up like that, round them up and accuse them forcefully. Before you know, policemen don't get promotion. They say, hey, they are working, this team is working, this tactical squad, they are really working. Meanwhile, these are just innocent people. So that's why many governors would not like to sign. They won't like to sign it. But imagine that the policemen are doing proper investigation, you know, clean and clear investigation. Most of these governors will sign because they're not like, okay, we agree. All the evidence is clear that they did it. The proofs are there. The exhibits, everything. So most governors will be willing to sign. So I think that one is the major problem there. Is the major problem. You and I know how the policemen work, so you can think about that angle too. So, well, setting them free, is that the option? Because you are setting free known kidnappers, known armed robbers, known terrorists. These are the people you set free. You say you have pardoned them, whether as governor or president. You're not doing the country good. At least those ones are known to have done it. Evidence is clear. Why setting them free? Then why those that stole common chicken, goat, yam, pencil, biro, you keep them there for life in prison or even death sentence or even 20, 40 years in prison? Why those that committed the harder ones are being pardoned? Tell me, why will it not continue? And don't forget that many politicians, these guys are their boys. Politicians are part of the problem we have in that country. There's no way you execute a kidnapper or an armed robber without equally buying the sponsors behind it. They are chairmen, which you and I know are the big men in town. They have boys. They buy guns, they buy bullets, give them logistics. You know, they use them to do these things. You know, they use them. So when you don't go tackle the top, the sponsors, the ones that have these boys, it will continue. You buy 5 of their boys, they will recruit more. You buy 5 of their boys, they recruit more. The problem will be endless. So, well, policemen are really suffering in that country. They are like, after we finish suffering, risk our lives, some of their men self will be pied in the course of pursuing these guys. After getting them, they will now say, let us sleep now. Now we can sleep. The next thing they see, one president will enter, set them free, pardoned. So policemen, I'm going to make una start to use on head to avoid these things to keep continuing like to happen. If you catch them red-handed in a gun shootout, buy them there. There's no need to say you want to take them to court. Just buy them there because you know the end result. Before you know it from court, they'll be pardoned, or one year lawyer will go set them free, or just get a lesser sentence for them, or one president or governor will come and set them free. So if you exchange gunfire with them and you manage to arrest 4 or 5, get them down, buy them. Buy them so that there will be nobody to pardon them. At least this ones you caught them red-handed in exchange of fire. Not be say. This one are clear. You know, it's becoming too much. So, well, for Williams Uchemba, he has to be careful because those boys are watching him. They'll be like, okay, Yuba, we they see you, they leave you before, but now we don't talk this one. If we keep quiet, your mouth go they run. Before you know, they go pass the law now. Moko buy you first. We'll use you as our example. So I think now he has said it. Many of those bad players, bad actors in the country, they are not happy with him. Definitely, even the gangs themselves. They might be looking out for him now. So he has to be careful. The places he go, he should also watch his back. And again, the country have to put CCTV cameras everywhere. That thing helps to fight crime. It helps a lot. In most developed countries, those things have helped even the police to solve crime quick. But the question is, will they do it? Will they do it? Since most of them in power, the big men in town, have boys that do these dirty jobs for them. Would they want those kind of things to be done? The answer is no, because they are involved. All right, guys, so the guy said he made a lot of sense there. You can agree, he made a lot of sense. You know, every Nigerians, we know these things, but you wonder why these politicians, they will just be in office, holding strong power, and they cannot just pass these things into, just make it active. It's in the law already. Carry it out. Are they not once Nigerians? Before they became governors, ministers, senators, House of Rep, all these power, the positions they are holding. Were they not normal people before? They were normal people too, normal civilians like us. They saw all these things happening. Is it that they never had plan to change the country for good? How come they will just get into power? They will now start acting like they don't even know that these things happen. In fact, they will be covering up. They will be covering up all this evil. You know? Even when they see bad things happening, they look the other way around. They look away. Then when they leave power, they turn to motivational speakers. The moment they leave power, you now see them start talking, there is no security in the country, the governor, the president have to do something to solve security. While you are there in power now, why can't you use your power and solve these things? Push for the law to be active. Until you start setting example with certain kidnappers and armed robbers publicly, like it used to be during the days of the military. Until you start doing it, people will not sit up. But when you start doing it, children, everybody, the stuff, that execution time, the thing echoes. Everybody will be like, hey, they have executed them, I was there, how they hang him, how they shot her. Everybody will be like, hey, I know they do crime again. There's no punishment. That's why more boys have the courage to keep joining. They have the courage to keep joining. They're like, last, our chairman go set us free. No, they worry. Once they catch you, no problem. Chairman go set you free. Just one call, you don't come out. You see? That's why more people are. But when there is example being set by others, with others, person won't join, go think and twice. They say, no, I never want to die. I say, even if I'm not too rich, I still enjoy my life like this. So, well, it's all right. It's okay. We hope that one day, people with the right senses will be in power and start doing the right thing. That's why I see policeman go just collect bribe, let the criminal go away. Because it's like, what's the use? If you still put them in prison, 1 year, your man will come free them. Alright guys, so you tell me your thoughts in the comment section. I'm out of here. I am Chi. Bye-bye. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much.